everybody, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to show you how to design and draw a section through a dogleg staircase. Say you are given a question like design and draw a section through a dogleg staircase given the following information. The floor to floor height is given to be 3000 millimeters. The riser is said to be 150 millimeters high. The tread is 300 millimeters. The waist of the staircase is 150 millimeters thick. The landing is 1200 millimeters wide, and the landing beam is 450 by 200 millimeters thick. The main bus in the staircase is D10 at 200 millimeters cc, and the distribution bus is D10 at 200 millimeters cc. So we are going to start. The first operation that we are going to do is we are going to calculate the number of risers, and the number of risers is given by the floor height divided by the dimension for each riser. So this one will have 3000 divided by 150 millimeters. For this one we are going to get 20 risers. We'll have 20 risers for the total flight of the staircase. But since you are designing a dogleg staircase, technically a dogleg staircase is the staircase. Normally people call it the half-turn staircase. This is like a simple representation of our dogleg staircase. So basically you can divide this is the height that I've used to be 3000 millimeters. So we can divide this height by 2 and get the height from the floor to the top of the landing, which is going to be 1500 millimeters. So a person can decide to use that or go this other way. So I'm going to divide this number of risers by 2 to get how many risers should be in each flight that I'm going to have. So this one will be 10 risers for each flight. So at this stage I can calculate the number of treads, and the number of treads is given by the risers minus 1, the number of risers, that is minus 1. So we are going to have 10 risers minus 1. So this implies that on each flight that we are going to have 9 treads. So this 9, each tread is 300 millimeters. So this implies that we can get the total length of our stair by making a sketch. I'm going to make a sketch. So this is where our flight is. So on this flight we are going to have 9 treads. So to get the total dimension for the 9 treads, we shall take 9 times 300, which is going to give us 2700 millimeters. That is the total length that we are having for this dimension here, 2700 millimeters. Then the length from this side, we are told that the landing is 1200 millimeters. So this length here is 1200 millimeters. Okay, so this is technically where we are going to start from. So basically you are just going to draw your staircase simply like this. So I'm going to draw the plan. I'm going to show you how you can draw the plan, and then how you can draw the section. So basically for this video I'm just going to show you how to draw the plan, and I'm going to show you later on another video, how to draw the section through the same staircase. So I'm going to start. So I'm going to mark a line. I'm going to draw a line on my drawing paper. After drawing that, I'm going to draw another vertical line from which my staircase plan will be developed. Well, I'm going to develop my staircase plan. And sorry, I forgot to include the scale. Let's say the scale is 1:25. Scale 1:25. This basically means that for every 1 millimeter on the paper, it's going to be 125 millimeters on the ground. So we shall calculate. So we have this length from here to here to be 2700 millimeters on the ground, but we want to represent it on the paper. So we shall divide 2700 divided by 25, which is going to give us 108 millimeters. So the 108 millimeters is the one that we are going to draw to mark on our paper from this point. From this point, you are going to mark 108. So somebody can decide to use a pair of dividers, claiming that it will be a bit faster. So this is where our staircase should go up to. So I've marked the point to which my staircase should go. That is for the flights, both the two flights, the first and the second flight. So that is where my staircase should be. Then I'm going to have to extend this line. Since I've been told that my landing is 1200 millimeters wide, I'm going to take 1200 divided by 25. Divided by 25, that is 48 millimeters. So I'm going to draw 48 millimeters from this point here where my staircase is ending. So I'm going to have 48 millimeters. This is where my 48 millimeters will be, and I'm going to draw another vertical line from that point. So this is where my landing is coming to be produced. So we shall just extend these lines a little further down, since we're going to use them later when we're going to develop the section. Since we are not given the flight width, we are going to assume that the flight width is the same as the landing width. So we are going to have another 48 from this top here to this vertical line going downwards. So I'm going to measure 48 millimeters. I'm measuring 48 millimeters. 48 millimeters. This is where my 48 millimeter mark is. So that is where my first flight will be. So I'm going to draw a line joining to that. So, and basically, under normal circumstances, we are going to have a space between the first flight and the second flight. So I'm going to assume that the space between the first and the second flight is 200 millimeters. So I'm going to divide 200 by 25, which is 8 millimeters, I guess. Let me confirm that. Yes, that is 8 millimeters. So I'm going to measure 8 millimeters from where my first flight is ending, going downwards. I'll measure 8 millimeters. Then that is where my second flight is going to start. And the second flight is also, the width for the second flight is also 1200 millimeters. So that implies that they have the same dimensions. So we can just transfer the same 48 millimeters to this other side. 48 millimeters down here. So my 48 millimeters will be somewhere here. So this is where my plan should be ending for this staircase. So basically at this point, I'm having an overview of the plan. The only thing I can start doing now is outlining my plan to show the parts which I want to be seen. So I want this part to be visible. That is for the first landing, the first flight, sorry about that, the first flight. Then this other part, and where my staircase is coming through. And that is this part here. So I'm trying this one here. I'm leaving the space that I left earlier on, and that is where how my staircase plan should look like without the threads on. So later on I'm going to start to partition the staircase flight so that we can see all the threads. I'm done with that. So the next thing I can do basically is now marking the threads. I'll start by marking the threads. You've been told that each thread is 300 millimeters. So I'll take 300 divided by 25. 300 divided by 25, that is 12 millimeters. That means that each thread will be 12 millimeters. So on this, I'll measure 12 millimeters each from this point. Mark where 12 is. So my first 12 millimeters will be at this point. Move another 12 millimeters. That is this point here. And another 12 millimeters. That will be at this point. I'm using small dots to show that at that point there. Then the other 12 millimeters will be at this point here, then the other point will be here, the other one will be at this point, the other will come somewhere here, then the other will come somewhere here. So I think that is the last one, the last thread. So the dots I've made, I'm just going to draw vertical lines joining the dots. First I'm going to use faint pencil, then I'm going to outline it later. So, faint pencil. So that is our first thread. I'll extend this one all the way down. This one, the second dot, that is for our second thread. For our second thread, third thread, remember to extend those lines down because we are going to use them while we are drawing our cross section. Then this other point, I'll extend them down further. So if we count the number of threads that we're having, so these are our threads, we shall have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 threads, just as we had calculated earlier. So we can mark the threads. This is our first thread, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, 7, 8, 9. Then this one will be the 10th, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So that implies that we are going to have 18 threads for the total flights, for the 2 flights that we are going to have. So generally the work that is remaining now is just to highlight, to outline the threads that I've drawn. So let me change the angle so that I'm a bit comfortable with it. So this is what you're going to have. This one up to this point, this one up to this point, this one up to this point, the other one up to this point. This one goes up to that point there. This one up to this point. So the plan is now complete. The only thing that is remaining is the direction in which the staircase is inclined. So we are going to show that with an arrow. For this, I'm just going to use a faint pencil to show you the direction. So we are going to start from this point. And that one for the second flight is here. I'm going to join this point, these 2 points. That one. So I'm going to show the arrow. This arrow means that the staircase is inclined in this direction. So let's say this is where our ground floor is. So we are going to move from the ground floor all the way to the landing. And on the landing, I'm not going to show any arrow, because if I indicate that one, it's going to mean that this one is going to be a ramp now. That one will mean that the landing is now inclined. So I'm going to show this other one going towards the other direction. And that is how you do the plan for a staircase. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe, and comment. Thank you.